In this video, you'll discover 5 social media myths that are hurting your business. Let's get started. Hey guys, Angie with Gensler.com here, and today I want to talk about 5 social media myths that quite possibly could be hurting your business. Now, these are myths that I hear repeated all the time, and every time I hear a fellow expert share them or I hear another fellow entrepreneur share them, it breaks my heart because I think, man, believing these myths is holding you back and causing you unnecessary stress and overwhelm, and it's probably hurting your results and your ability to move forward. So let's dive into these myths, and I have some slides to help me out here. So the first myth is that social media is free. Now, this may be true, just making a post on Instagram or making a post on Facebook, while it may seem free on the surface, there's actually so much more involved, because the truth is that social media costs you a lot of time. I mean, when you think about the amount of time that you're putting into thinking about the post, making the post, maybe you're even scheduling the post, all of that takes a lot of time, and every single piece of those is taking time away from other things that you could be doing inside of your business. So you need to know what your time is worth, and you need to spend it wisely. So I like to give the example of a consultant. Let's say you're a consultant and you can charge $100 an hour for your services. Now, if you are spending an hour posting on all the different social media channels and then commenting and engaging and just being really active on social media, that hour is essentially costing you $100 that you could be billing a client. Now, what you have to evaluate is that 1 hour, can that generate more than 1 hour's worth of consulting work? Or could you possibly even outsource that 1 hour of posting to another company or, another person, to a virtual assistant? Or could you even use some of your business dollars to make an investment in something like my social media content calendar that will save you time and cut down on that time, so that then you can trade that time to be working on activities that are directly going to generate revenue for your business. So as a business owner, you need to be very strategic and thoughtful about your time and think about, where are you going to get the most bang for your buck? What's going to impact the bottom line and serve your customers the best? So you need to understand what your time is worth and use it wisely. Let's move on to myth number 2. Myth number 2 is that you have to be on every social network. Now, this is one that I'm sure people would argue with me, and I've even had people comment on some different threads in social media that I've had specifically about this. And so I teach that you need to pick one social media network, a traditional one. So I'm talking Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So between those 4, you need to choose one and just focus on that one. Now, the truth with this, being on all the channels, is that you just have to be where your ideal customer is. So that's why I say focus on just one. Now, you could argue, well, my ideal customer is on all the channels. Okay, well, not really. And more than likely, your ideal customer, like your prime audience, is most active, or the majority of them are just on one channel. So I'll give an example of a photographer. So it very much depends on the type of photographer you are. If you are a lifestyle photographer and you take photos of families, you take family portraits, Instagram would be a great channel for you. Facebook could work if you're running ads, but it's tough to get organic reach. So I would say Instagram would be a great channel for you. But on the flip side, if you are a photographer and you focus on architectural photography and you take photos of big corporations' buildings, maybe you work with architects and you take photos of their new building projects, well, then you should probably be on LinkedIn, because that's where the majority of your customers are engaging and hanging out. And it really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for you to be on Instagram. While some of your customers will be on Instagram, the majority of them are engaging on LinkedIn. So you need to be very strategic about where you're at. And the best way to figure out which channel to be on is to create a buyer persona and then get really, really crystal clear about your ideal customer, who they are, where they hang out, what types of things do they do. And that's going to help you figure out which of those social media channels that you need to be focusing on. And the other thing that I would argue with this, where a lot of people still say, but why wouldn't you be on all of them? If you can, why won't you? More than likely, if you are watching this video right now, you are a small business owner. You could even be what I call a team of one business owner, and you are overwhelmed, you're exhausted, you're going in a million different directions. Let's be honest, you do not have time to be on all 4 channels, and you can't possibly grow your business if you are so busy spinning your wheels on all these different channels. Focus on the one so that then you can actually spend your time really focusing on some more of those revenue generating activities. Okay, myth number 3, and this is that social media networks are broadcast channels. Lots of people love to use social media as a chance to talk all about them. Every post is promoting one of their products or their services. And every post may be a press release or a new product update. It's all about them. So a lot of people and a lot of businesses think, woohoo, social media is a great way to talk about us. It's all about me, 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 me. And the truth with this is that social networks are interactive channels. They're not broadcast channels where you can just spew information all about yourself and people will just consume it and love it. It doesn't work that way. Social media networks are interactive. You need to bring your customer onto a journey and a conversation with you and do it in a way that it benefits them. So you really need to make your content more about your customer and less about you. So questions are a really great way to engage your audience on social media. And it's a great way to make the content about your customer and get them commenting. So if you need help with questions, I actually have a blog post with 65 questions that are great for increasing engagement on social media. So I've got that link right here. I'll put it down below in the description as well, so you can check that blog post out if you want some help with questions to help engage your audience. Okay, let's move on to myth number 4. And this is that you have to post 3 to 5 times a day. Now, sometimes that even goes more if we're talking about Twitter. Some people say 10 plus times a day on Twitter. And I don't know about you, but as a small business owner, that is not possible. Ain't nobody got time for that. The truth is, you just need to post consistently. So I don't care if you're posting 1 time a day, 10 times a day, or maybe just once every other day. Whatever it is, figure out a cadence that works for you and then just be consistent about it. So if you're on Instagram, posting once a day is perfectly fine. You will hear people say, oh, well, you have to post 3 times a day to get the growth and to get this. And if you're new, you need to post this many times a day. And if you're an established business, post that many times a day. And it depends on how many followers you have. And it's like, no one has time for that. As a small business owner, I have seen so many people get so overwhelmed and terrified by these rules that they end up doing nothing. And doing nothing is far worse than just posting sporadically and not following these rules. So what I want to encourage you is that worrying about impossible to follow rules is a perfect recipe for failure. So I want to encourage you to ignore those rules, ignore these myths that I'm sharing with you, and focus on something that is manageable for you. Create a process that works for you and come up with a posting cadence for that one channel that you choose. And figure out a cadence that works for you. Is it once a day, twice a day? Maybe it's every other day. Maybe it's only 2 or 3 times a week. You can still make progress and you can still engage with your audience, but just make sure that you are consistent with it. Okay, and then the final myth is that social media is great for finding new customers. Now, this myth really hurts a lot of businesses, and it breaks my heart when I see it happen. So many business owners, they start their business and they're so excited because they hear this myth that so many people just blew up their business with social media. And that may have been true 5-10 years ago, but now it's not really that possible because a lot of these social networks have restricted organic reach, particularly for brand new accounts. So when you are just starting out with your business, yes, you need to start building your social media network, build that channel, start posting, getting some engagement, but expect some slow growth. And please do not expect to start blowing up your business and getting tons of new customers. Unfortunately, that's extremely rare and it typically doesn't work anymore. The truth is that social media is great for connecting with existing customers. So when someone becomes a customer, invite them onto the social network that you are most active on, that one channel that you've selected. And then that's a great way to form a deeper connection with them. It's also a great way to get them commenting on your posts. I can't tell you how many times I've had people comment on a post that I've made about a product or a service that I have, and they comment and say, "Oh my God, I have this and I love it and it's so incredible and you should get it." So then they start selling for you. But this only happens after so long. So within my first year of business, that never happened, so I want you to be prepared for some slow growth. Focus on connecting with those existing customers when you're just starting out and in the beginning. And as you build those relationships with them deeper, they will then help you attract the new customers from there. Now, to attract new customers, if you're brand new, you need to focus on search engines and paid ads. So by search engines, I mean doing your search engine optimization, and that's trying to do your keyword research so that your content gets found in Google and Bing searches. And then you also can focus on Pinterest. Pinterest is an extremely powerful search engine. And if you're not familiar with it, you're skeptical about it, I actually have a free webinar where I talk about how I was able to explode my business using Pinterest. So I've got a link down below. You can check that out, or you can just head over to angiegensler.com/Pinterest and you can sign up for that free webinar. And then the other the other search engine that you want to look into is YouTube. YouTube is also an extremely powerful search engine, and you are watching this video on YouTube, so hopefully you realize the power that YouTube has. So you likely found me from a keyword search that you put in the search bar. Maybe you came to me from another source, another way, but more than likely you came from typing in some words. That's the power of a search engine. So doing your SEO, doing Pinterest, and doing YouTube, those are search engines. Focus on those. And then the other way is through paid ads. Now, if you really want to attract new customers using paid ads, so Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Google AdWords, those types of things are going to really help you attract those new customers and start building your business. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. Let's review those 5 myths and the truths again. So myth number 1 is that social media is free. The truth is that social media costs a lot of time and you need to know what your time is worth. Myth number 2, you have to be on every social network. The truth is, pick one and make sure that it's where your ideal customer is hanging out. Myth number 3, social networks are broadcast channels where you can share all about you. The truth is that social networks are interactive channels and you need to really focus your content on your ideal customer and get them engaging with you. Myth number 4, you have to post 3 to 5 times a day. The truth is you just need to post consistently. Find a cadence that works for you and be consistent about it. Myth number 5, social media is great for finding new customers. The truth is social media is great for connecting with existing customers. So there you have it, those 5 social media myths that are hurting your business and the truths that you need to know to help you get results from social media. Now, if you would like some more support, I have a whole lot of resources, articles, blog posts, great information on my website over at angiegensler.com. And then I also have a 2019 social media content calendar that I think you're going to love. You can check it out at angiegensler.com/calendar. calendar. Now that calendar is 365 days of social media post ideas planned out for you. It really takes away the stress and the frustration of figuring out what to post every day on social media. So go check that out. And then if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you hit subscribe so that you get notified every time I post a new video to help you grow your business. Well, that's all for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.